encourage our students and help them about the entrepreneurship, and please give them the idea how they can proceed with it. Over to you, sir and ma'am. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us here.
So same here. Same here. I really appreciate. First of all, this is a wonderful initiative, and I really appreciate the opportunity of interacting with the children. I guess I had a session a few, I think last month or a month before that, and they are really bright kids, and it's a wonderful opportunity to interact with them once again.
Exactly, that's true. In fact, like you said that, I have been there in Barrackpur. I studied in Barrackpur. My hometown is Shamnagar itself. So, coming back to home and being able to talk to the kids who are right now, growing up, I think it's a privilege for me that I'm able to reach out to these kids, right? So that maybe, in the future they are also able to take decisions, so that they can get into entrepreneurship and make their own decisions and work for their dreams. Because I think, that is what entrepreneurship is all about, that, you can start working for your own self, work for your own dreams instead of working for somebody else. That was one of the major thought that helped me make that decision to get into this field.
That is true.
Ishita ma'am, you're currently in Bangalore or you are in Kolkata right now?
No. I have moved to Delhi in the starting of the year. So I was in Bangalore. I finished my graduation from Christ, and I was there in Bangalore for almost 6-7 years. That's where I started my business with. And that was the place where I started building my business. And only in this year that I moved to Delhi. So currently I'm in Delhi.
Okay, okay. Indrashit sir, we would like to hear it from you, your end, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, as Ishita said that, entrepreneurship is something about, how you go ahead and, you know, uh, follow your heart, or rather, it's not only about you yourself, it's about, others as well. Because in the current scenario, the Indian economy where we are standing right now, I think entrepreneurship is the only answer to get out of the current situation, because unemployment is a big issue, and only entrepreneurship is the process of generating jobs and generating more employment. That's number one. Number two is that if you want to know about me, I am an MBA in marketing. I have been operating my business for the past 8-9 years, and not only IT, I am also in the media, as well as I have my own foundation. So, working with so many people day in, day out. One thing I've realized in the past 8 years, prior to that, I have 7 years of working experience. I worked with major MNCs like HSBC. So one thing, what I've realized in all these years is, entrepreneurship or any kind of success, whether it's in entrepreneurship or in your regular day-to-day life, it comes through, human relationships. So what I would like to talk about today is how to build human relationships and how exactly that can help you and take you, uh, it will take you a long way in the days to come. So that is something which is very important on today's date, to communicate.
Right. I
So we
totally
would
agree
like
with
to,
that.
yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, because I started at a very young age, I believe, because of course it was a very important decision of my life that I started the business at the age of 22. I had started working because you come from a background wherein you have been put in your head again and again. Once you get out of school, then you get into a college, and then you need to get a job. So I was coming from that background with that thought process that yes, I need to get a job. But so I got a job, and in fact, I was always pursuing things which I love doing. I have studied with dance, and I got a job which was also into dance. But then after a point of time, I realized that maybe the effort that I'm putting for somebody else, I can put that for myself. The same kind of time duration, I can work hard on myself. And that's when At 22, I started with my business. And I think one of the major reason why I could survive and keep building and reach a point of success in my business was the kind of people that I was dealing with. From time to time, I got a lot of mentorship and guidance, and then being able to pass on the same kind of mentorship and guidance to the next layer. So like Indranish was saying that I think having the right people and being able to build the right kind of bond with the people so that you can grow and you can help others grow is one of the major point in succeeding in entrepreneurship.
Ma'am, we
That's
would
true.
like to know that how did you overcome with all the struggles? Because starting up a business, entrepreneurship is not walking on the cake. It takes huge courage, it takes huge effort, lot of time, and huge mental support to start up with this thing. So we will definitely like to know from your end, how did you overcome the hurdles, the struggles you have come over, and how did you manage to stand up in such a peak platform now? Over to you, ma'am.
True. I think you're right that, it is challenging. And majorly it is challenging because, like I said, it's the programming in our head, right? And to break that programming, to follow your own path, I think that is the first step. And that is quite challenging because not everybody will be very much supportive of you, right? There will be a lot of the societal pressure which will be there, that no, you should not be doing this right now, right? You get to hear a lot of times, and I'm sure that a lot of kids in today's time, or even people at a age of even 35, 40, right, they get to hear things like this is not the right time. Either you take a lot of experience, then you start your own, right, get into a business, right? Or else, if you have a lot of experience, why do you want to take a risk, right? But to break all of those things, I think the major thing that helped me was that I had to take a decision for myself, because I understand that what is happening in today's time, right, that it is not just about in today's time, like even Indranish was saying that in today's time the economy is in such a way that if you're not doing something of your own, right, there is no way that you will be even able to help the even the country to come up and make their economy better. And there's no point of cribbing and crying about it, right? So you need to do something of your own. So when I had to take that decision, and it was all about that one moment. Because I remember I read this quote, okay, by Steve Jobs, that it said that if you don't do something to build your own dreams, somebody will hire you to build theirs, right? And
True, very
that
true. Yeah,
it
exactly.
hit me hard, that because I've always been a very passionate kind of a kid, even in my school. So studies was there, I was always more than average, kind of a kid, right? Good merit and everything. But then I was more into doing things which were in the extracurricular activities also, right? I was more into performing, taking part in all this other extempo debate. So I always like to explore, right? And that kind of was always there even in my college. So when I got out of my school and college, I just had this one thing, that I need to make it in my life. I need to have my own identity. I think that was one of the major thought process which I had. So, when I had to take the decision, right? Once I took that decision, the next challenge that was there, now, if I be very honest and frank, at that age of 22, one of the biggest challenge that you face to start a business, what we feel is lack of knowledge, right? And how will I make the finances ready to start one, right? Because that those are the two important thing, I think, which stops you, that key, how will I do it, right, without any proper support or guidance. But again, if you have decided, if you know what is your reason, if you know what is your vision, right, that okay, if you want to start this, okay, if you want to get into entrepreneurship in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself by doing that? In the next 10 years, where do you want to see yourself? If you have that goal clear in your head, then you will be able to face each and every challenge. So these were my challenges, because I didn't know that, okay, my parents were like, okay, fine, you go ahead and do whatever you want to do, that's okay. But then the rest of the things, I still didn't know how will things fall in place. So you need to take that leap of faith, because if you are not taking that leap of faith, you are not working for that dream or that goal that you are visualizing in your head. So first thing I think which helped me, overcome my challenges, was that I was very clear in my head that why do I want to take this step? Why do I want to get into entrepreneurship? I was knowing that, okay, if I am looking for this kind of life, the kind of goals that I have, right? Then in the next 5-10 years, where will I be seeing myself if I do this? Right? That clarity was there. Now, since that clarity was there in my head, it helped me take that decision. Once I was able to take that decision, then rest of the things which seemed as a big challenge before, somehow I was able to overcome it, because I kept on finding out now ways, how do I overcome this? Okay, I don't have knowledge. Fine. Let me figure out who are the people who have the knowledge and start interacting with them. Start working with them, start talking to them, start communicating with them, get to know how did they do it. That was one of the steps that I did. Okay, I don't have finances. Okay, what are the ways that I can ready my finances? Right? What are the sources that I have? Right? I don't, I am, maybe sometime there was a self doubt. Okay, you can always go back to watching some good videos, you can always change the kind of things that you're taking your education from. So all of this very basic things help me take that, make the changes in my life, right? So that I can continue with the journey.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was really very encouraging. Now I'd like to come to Indrashish, sir. Sir, we would like to know something about your company, Bariza. Now, you have started from scratch. You have built up such a huge platform. I would request you to say something about how did you start up? How did you come across the idea that I should start up with something like this, which is so very innovative? Over to you, sir.
Okay. All right. So Bariza Software Solution is a company which is dedicated in serving clients on a global platform. In terms of providing web development, digital marketing, software development, application development. It's an in and out IT service providing company. Now, how exactly the journey started? It's pretty interesting. Now, to say that, I have to go back to the school days, considering I'm speaking to kids who are from school. I'm from Calcutta Boys School. I'm sure you have heard of it. It's in SN Banerjee Road. And as a kid, during my school days, I was an average student. I was neither the, I was not the front bencher, not the last bencher. I was in that group where people didn't even realize that I exist. But, the problems that I had is that, I used to suffer from body weight issues as well. I was a very fat kid. Now, I'll give you the reason I'm saying this is because, when you are growing up, when you are in school and you are suffering from body weight issues and you are an average student, you really have that sort of personality disorder, or you do not have that confidence because, people do not even care about your existence, and whatever they do care about, it's all about making fun of you. So as I started growing up, as I moved to my teens, past my boards, I realized that I need to take care of myself and take hold of my life. And I started taking care of my weight, my food, and I lost weight, and I got into shape in class 11 and 12. And that particular thing taught me one thing, that if you want to do something in your life, you cannot just let the things happen the way it is happening. You need to take hold of it. So after passing class 12, this particular lesson was instilled in me. So after passing class 12, I joined college, and I required money. I didn't want to go ahead and depend on my parents for money. So what I did is that I asked one of my friend. I think at that point of time, he was working with an MNC, Wipro. So he told me that, okay, Wipro is hiring. Why don't you go ahead and try? Now, Kolkata has got very few MNCs. And during that time, there were two. One was HSBC and the other one was Wipro. Now, I was undergoing my graduation. I was studying. And I did not know whether, what kind of process it is. I didn't have any idea about what exactly the MNC is all about, what kind of work it's going to be. I was 18 or 19, and I just went there for my pocket money, as simple as that. Now, after I went there, it was the placement consultancy. They had a word with me, they interacted with me, and they suggested that I should not be going for Wipro, but they sent me for HSBC. And when I went to HSBC, it's in Karunamui, the big building. The first impression was that I'm not going to go through it. I'm just wasting my time. I should be in college. But still, the eagerness to earn, the eagerness to, move forward in your life, I just wanted to have that experience. I went through the interviews the entire day. There were like grilling interviews. And at the age of 18, going through interviews like that, it was something different. In each and every round, the HR was asking questions which were some of the questions which were not even relevant to what exactly you're doing, because you're just a pass out from school. And fortunately for me, out of 40 people, I was one of the 4 people who cleared the entire interview process. And I got through the job. I got through HSBC. But what I didn't know is that I had to work in the night shift and I had to deal with US clients. So what I was doing is that, I was studying during the daytime. I was working during the nighttime. And I was getting 2 to 3 hours of sleep. My family was completely against it, but I didn't really listen to them because I wanted money, as simple as that. I worked there for quite some time, and slowly I got used to it, and I started, enjoying the entire process. Although my health got hampered a bit, I'll be very honest. I had typhoid and jaundice back to back because of the weird working schedule. But the entire process taught me something. That is, through HSBC, I learned customer handling. I learned the idea about sales. I learned how to deal with, international clients. After completing my grads, I was pursuing my career. Like I was doing my MBA. I got through because I had a good work experience. I was working with a leading IT company in a senior position. And from there, slowly, after completing my MBA, I got through in the position of CEO with a leading IT company. It's in Sector 5. Now, I was 24 or 25 when I thought that, I was not enjoying what I'm doing. Now, I'm a kind of person who, if I do not enjoy doing something, I just, leave that. Or rather, I just close that particular part. Because, I feel that, if you do not enjoy doing your regular day-to-day work, because the work is an important part of your life. If you do not enjoy doing what you're doing, it will not take you a long way. It's just going to be another thing. So what happened is that I decided I was withdrawing a huge package, and I could have really stayed back and I could have enjoyed everything, but I decided to quit my job. Now, everybody questioned my sanity back at home once again, because at the age of 24, 25, you're withdrawing a huge package. You should be thinking about, settling down, and you should be thinking about your investment, etc., etc. And I was planning to quit the job and start my own thing, because that was the next level, according to me. So I went ahead and took the risk. Whatever money I earned, whatever investment I had, I invested the entire thing, and Bariza started. So initially it was known as Need Websites, and later on in 2017, it was registered at Bariza Software Solutions. So initial days, I had loads of struggles. Initial days, there are a lot of things which I learned in the entire process. I got cheated. I got, many people came and told me that they gave fake commitments. They didn't go ahead and live up to that. I went ahead and I faced a lot of challenging situation, but one thing just kept on moving in me, or rather kept me, helped me to carry on, is the desire to prove all those people who had questioned my sanity wrong. Because, one thing which I personally believe, and I'm sure that many entrepreneurs would also be believing is that, it gets easier for fueling your passion when people go ahead and challenge your dream, or if they go ahead and say that you cannot do it. So it was more like, proving them wrong. And every day it was more like, focusing on the work, customer relation. And most importantly, what exactly mattered is that when you are going ahead in this entire process, I learned, if you want to grow your business, if you want to brand your business, if you want to go ahead and move to the next level, there are a few things which are important. And one thing is a must, that is networking. And the other things are branding and, connecting with people, because if you do not connect with people, you will not grow. So that is something where communication helped me. So all the thing that happened previously when I started working with HSBC and the entire process, the experience helped me a lot to deal with challenges, deals with ups and downs. And in this entire process, my startup, Need Websites, at that point of time, was selected as one of the top 10 startup by Your Story, a leading platform from Eastern Zone. Now, after that, there was not looking back. Right now, Bariza Software Solutions is a globally placed. We have physical office in USA, Australia, as well as in India. So we are planning to go ahead and open our new office in South Africa. But again, due to lockdown and all these pandemic, unfortunately, we had to, hold on to the plans. But the entire process, I can state one thing, that, entrepreneurship is about passion. Entrepreneurship is about human relationships. Entrepreneurship is about, making sure that you do not give up, because going will get tough, but again, only tough people will exist. And entrepreneurship is certainly about, providing solution to the customers. So coming back to your question was, how exactly Bariza came in my mind. Now, in the world of IT, the main problem is that if you go to any businessman and you go ahead and talk about their online presence, they're kind of scared, because the amount of investment that would be required, they really do not have any idea, because having a website is really a costly phenomenon. You have to get the hosting, you have to book the domain name, you have to get the website, etc., etc., etc. You have to, after the website is launched, you have to do proper digital marketing. Otherwise, even if you invest $1 million on, like, in having a website, it will be completely worthless. Or even if you spend $1 million to develop an app, it's going to be worthless. So that's where my USP is. The place where different companies will be charging high price, we go ahead and give flexibility to different companies, especially small to medium scale industries, to go ahead and have leading online presence where they can compete with the large scale industries. Prior to our company coming into the market, they had to spend huge amount of money, but we started going ahead and providing competitive rates. Previously, it was done by the freelancers, not by the companies, but I decided to go ahead and take it to the next level, and my company provides a hugely, discounted rate. Like, for example, for developing an e-commerce website, according to US standard, any US-based company will be charging $7,000 to $8,000 easily, where we are providing the similar service within $1,500 to $2,000. So a businessman is always looking for either to save money or make money. So we are helping them to save money, and that's something which has worked for us.
Okay, so we have some questions from our students. I'll pick up one question. Question is from Anama C. Joy. The child is asking, what are the tips you would like to give the student to start up with a business? The question goes to both of you, sir and ma'am.
Okay, ladies first.
Okay, thank you for that. I think the most important tip that I can give you is that what worked for me the most, you got to be really, really, really passionate about doing something of your own, right? You need to find what is your passion, right? Because, if you are going to start something of your own, if you don't find what really makes you feel excited every day, that yes, whatever the challenges are, okay, you will face a hell lot of challenge, and you accept that yes, I am taking a step to do something for myself, and I want it, and with it, whatever the challenges are going to come, I am going to face it, right? But I'm still excited about getting out of my bed and working for it. So, first thing first, find where your real passion lies, right? Second is that be very clear that as to why you're doing this work, what are your reasons that you're doing it? Because let's say entrepreneurship is really not about, starting a business is not really about, okay, I'm gonna invest my 2 3 months or just 2 3 years and I just want the result, right? It's all about having the delayed gratification, because if you don't have the picture of what you are about to build, because whatever you're going to build, okay, as your business is going to build the quality of your life also, right? So if you don't have a clear picture in your head, okay, in the next 5 years, where do I want to see myself by doing this work in my life, right? Then every single day, right, it will be a challenge for you. But if you know, right, that okay, today I'm doing this work because in the next 5 years I will be here, every day somehow or the else you will be motivated to keep on working, right? So these are the first two things. Find your passion. Once you know what is your passion, where you really want to continue, know that by following it, where is that you want to reach in your life. Because if I give it from my own personal experience, when I was in school or and my college, I had this thought that dance is my passion. This is what I used to think. Okay, I studied dance. I started learning dance from, I think, from the age of 10 or something, right? I've learned Kathak, and when I went to my college, I was very adamant about this also, that I want to take up dance only as a course, right? So in my college, my subjects were, I did my BA in college, right? So my subjects were psychology, English, and uh, performing arts, which was into theater, music, and dance, right? But and I thought that this is what my where my passion really lies, and I continued in that, and I got out of my college also. I took up a job which was also related to dance and everything, right? I was working for a company wherein I was going and teaching kids, okay, dance. But after that, working for 6 7 months, okay, in corporate, okay, that's when I started realizing that maybe dance is my passion. It's a hobby, but it is not something that I want to take up professionally, right, to grow in my life. Because when it comes to my profession, I was more passionate about doing something wherein I will be able to create an impact among the people also, first. Second, which will also help me earn money, right? Because people really don't talk about this, but whatever we are doing, we have to focus on earning money. Because if I don't focus on earning money, right, then my quality of life will never increase. So somewhere I realized that at that time, the first thing that I really wanted to do was to improve the quality of my life, and also to improve myself, right? So that's when I figured that out, that I really need to do something which will help me become financially free enough, that after a point in my life, I should be able to do whatever I want to do without having the thought that if money is coming in or not. Means I realized that what I really want to do in my life is that I want to create something, right? I want to build something that for my entire life I don't have to keep thinking about running for earning money. Now that thought helped me realize what is that I actually want in my life. So that clarity of where I want to see myself in my life was one of the most important thing. And I think that would be the most important tip that I would want to give, that you first be clear that where you want to be in your life, what's the quality of life you want, and make sure whatever you do, you are passionate about it. These are the first two tips that I would want to give.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'd like to come to Indrashis, sir. So any tip from your end? Like our students are asking that what have you done, because starting up a business is not just an easy task. Getting the clients is another big task. So what tips would you like to give the children regarding how to catch up the client and how to think that what business to start up from their end? And like how did you come up, like you have come up with Bariza, how can a child feel, like what should the child pick up, what grounds the child can pick up? Over to you, sir.
Oh, that's a very good question. Um, well, the first point is that, for any business, okay, for any person who is starting up with his or her own venture, the person needs to know. Obviously, it's either going to be a product-based business or a service-oriented venture. Now, you have to understand what pain point, or when I'm saying pain point, it means like what problem your service or product is going to solve in the society. Because it is very important for you to know how exactly your service is going to serve the society, because it's in the end of the day, it's business. If your service or product is going to solve the problem, the venture is going to succeed in the days to come. Like, for example, Ola. We all know Ola or Uber or Uber, whatever you call it. Now, when Ola and Uber came in the market, what happened is that it clicked just like that, because of the kind of troubles that we used to face on a regular basis, due to the yellow taxis and the kind of traveling issues that we had to face, because they always wanted 100 rupees extra. Give me 100 rupees extra, I would be traveling, or 500 rupees extra for going there. So it's kind of ransom, or a person used to feel, oh my God, he's taking advantage of the situation. So when these apps were introduced, app-based taxis or app-based all these devices, now what happened is that it clicked in the market, because people started getting solution to one of the major problem they were facing. So your service and your product should go ahead and address a particular problem which we are facing on a daily basis. So once that particular thing is addressed, the remaining stuff is in place. Now, how to get clients? If you are into service oriented venture, so at that point of time, what happens is that the first thing that is important is proper marketing. Marketing is very important, because marketing is something which is going to let people know that, okay, I exist in a market. After that comes the sales. Sales is something where you are asking people to buy the product. So marketing and sales are two different things. Marketing is letting people know you exist. Sales is that you are asking people to buy the product from you. Now, the other thing that you need to do, if you want to get more clients, is that you have to understand where exactly, like, for example, if you are into IT and you want, let's say you learn web development, software development, app development, and you want clients. So there are a lot of, freelancing sites. If you want to work as a freelancer, I saw one of the question coming up out here, where a person was asking, how can I be a good freelancer? So there are sites like freelancer.com, where there are job posted by people all over the world, globally, where they are looking forward to take services. So there you can search for the job and you can bid for those jobs. If you have good profile and if you are providing a good cost, they will award the job to you. And if you're able to deliver it, you're going to have a good review from the client, which is going to help you to get more clients in the days ahead. So you have to think about different ways. And if you're into product oriented industry, marketing sales part will remain the same. The third part that you need to focus on is strategy. You have to strategize how to reach out to your customer. Like, for example, if you have a particular product which is going to, let's say, you have invented something like detergent or something which is for like washing powder. Now, it's not going to come effective to any businessman who is running an IT. No, it's not. That person will be least bothered about it. But who can be bothered? His wife, who might be going ahead and taking care of the household, or who is actually monitoring the servant. So, or who would be going ahead and cleaning the clothes. So you have to go ahead and target the right customer with the right pitch. And in that way, you can generate customers as well as you can generate more business for yourself.
And I would want to
Thank you
add
so much.
something
Yes,
to
ma'am.
it, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And I
Yes, yes,
also
sure. Please,
feel,
ma'am.
yeah, I also feel that, sometimes it's really not, if you want to do a business and if you want to get into entrepreneurship, it is really not necessary that you really have to come up with your own idea only to get into entrepreneurship, right? Because even if you want to get into business, because see, not everybody will have that kind of a mindset or thought process where they are able to come up with unique ideas, right? Not everybody is the same, right? There will be a lot of people, for example me, okay, I was never this kind of a person. When till the time I was in college, I really never thought about getting into business at all. It was only after I got out of college, it just clicked. Only one thing clicked me, that I don't want to work for somebody else. But that does not mean I had a lot of ideas in my head. But I realized there are a lot of people who are already existing with a lot of ideas, right? For example, in today's time, okay, one of the most fastest growing business model is franchisee, right? Now if you want to start your own business, right, and if you are a kind of a person who cannot strategize, who cannot figure out your own ways, right, who are not able to come up with brilliant ideas, right, and if you don't have that kind of a you know I would say clarity as to what will work, what will not work for you, but you still want to be your own boss, you still want to do something for yourself, the first thing I think you should be doing is that go and network, right? Go and talk to people, right? Figure out, go, and when you go to a shop, I remember I once went to a jockey showroom, okay? And I went there and I just asked them one thing, that, okay, how are you running this business? How did you start up with this business? Right? And how much sales are you able to make through this? Because I could see that at least this person is doing something of his own. So go talk, go figure out that how did they start, how a franchisee is working, right? How somebody else started with their business, and if you can, maybe you cannot start something with your idea, but maybe you can join hands, right? Because that's the exact way I started. I am into distribution, right? I am into distribution of a lot of luxury products and brands, right, so on and so forth, and I do it through e-commerce platform, yes. But it's not my own idea. I join hands with people who are already existing, who are already doing. So I knew for a matter of fact that, okay, these are the people who are already doing it, and the initial learning I can already have it from them. I don't have to break my head over the fact that I need to figure out my own ways. I have to do it my own way. So in today's time, there are so many options, so many options, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Believe in me, if you just go to Google, right, and if you just write down what are the different businesses that I can do, you will get so many options, right? It's
Yes, ma'am.
just about starting to talk and getting to know about it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much for putting up so much of information, guiding us all through. And today, because of time constraint, we do not have much time with us, but definitely we would love to have both of you again, physically in our school or through the platform to guiding us, our children. Thank you so much for giving us your time in this weekend morning. Thank you to Indrashish sir. Thank you to Ishita ma'am for being available, helping us with all the informations and guiding us all through. It was a wonderful session. I'm 100% sure our children will take all the benefits possible from the tips you have given, from the guidance you have given. And entrepreneurship is one of the biggest booming platform in the industry for earning money, for standing up and guiding us guiding us all through with all this information. It was a wonderful session to have you back over here. Thank you so much, Indrashit sir, and thank you so much, Ishita ma'am. With this, we'd like to conclude today's session. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you so much for having us here.